Hello everyone, welcome back to the Zekko football channel. Liverpool are set to complete their midfield rebuild with the addition of Ryan Gravenberch. Today we're discussing what he adds to this Liverpool side and how he could improve them. If you are new to the channel, please make sure that you subscribe, you like the video, and turn on those notifications. And now let's discuss Ryan Gravenberch to Liverpool. Ryan Gravenberch to Liverpool, what a signing, 40 million euros, and what a deal it is. Honestly, he's 21 years old, and I can't think of a better signing for a Liverpool side than him at the moment. He wasn't making it in that Bayern Munich team, and for that reason, I think a lot of people had him tucked away in the back of their minds like he wasn't there anymore, but he needs to play football. That's what he's been saying, and that's why he's orchestrated this move away from Bayern Munich so soon. They just weren't giving him the opportunities. However, in this Liverpool team, he will definitely get opportunities. Now, you might be wondering why I've got him in this central defensive midfield position, and that's for one plain reason. I think that's where he's going to end up playing for Liverpool. Not necessarily as a low-lying CDM like Fabinho was, but more as a casual centre midfielder, and that allows him to then transition the play and go forwards with the likes of McAllister and Dominic Szoboszlai. I'm expecting those two to drop back that little bit more, and then you're going to have more of a flat midfield three, which might seem a bit counterintuitive. However, the entire team will then move forwards and backwards at the same time, and it means that Liverpool are going to be able to dominate the ball more often than not. Gravenberch's tackles for a midfielder are actually pretty excellent. He actually averages 2.69 tackles per 90. That puts him in the 82nd percentile against players in his position, which is obviously central midfield. And then on top of that, he's got an amazing pass attempted, pass completion rate, and progressive passes. He actually averages 6.67 progressive passes per 90. That puts him in the 81st percentile against players in his position in Europe's top 5 leagues. And then you talk about progressive passes received, because Gravenberch is not only going to play this position. What I've noticed with this Liverpool side and the profile of play that they've been going for are players that are able to play in a multitude of roles, different roles across the pitch. When you think of Alexis McAllister, he has the ability to play as a central defensive midfielder. It's not his role, no, but he can still play it. Dominic Szoboszlai is more happy in the centre of midfield, pulling the strings and then picking passes out towards his forwards. However, he can do a job out on this right-hand side. He's got enough pace to be able to beat a man, and he can also cut inside in his left foot and take a shot. Cody Gakpo has previously played as a left winger. He has done so as a forward for Ajax on several occasions, but Jurgen Klopp sees him as a major playmaker through the centre of this midfield as a centre forward, dropping that little bit deeper into the Roberto Firmino role. And also, we've also seen him as a central attacking midfielder on the left-hand side or the right-hand side. This means that this Liverpool team is unbelievably flexible, and it allows the likes of Gravenberch to change his position, and it gives Klopp the options throughout the team to be able to adapt essentially to their opponents. Trent Alexander-Arnold is slowly making his transition into the centre of midfield. I think Jurgen Klopp sees him as a centre defensive midfielder eventually. I think he needs to be taken away from this right back slot, although I know he's done a fantastic job at right back and it gives Liverpool a better creative out. Defensively, they're just not quite there at the moment. And with Virgil van Dijk not necessarily seeming himself and Ibrahima Konate failing to find fitness a lot of the time, Andy Robertson is the only real one that has been able to hold his head up high with the defensive capabilities of Liverpool. He is still going to require a little bit more help. Alexis McAllister isn't exactly the most defensive-minded of players, and neither is Dominic Szoboszlai, but together with Gravenberch, I believe all of them could come together as a unit and really start to make this Liverpool midfield tick. And when you think of Gini Wijnaldum, you don't think necessarily of the left winger that he was previously. You don't think of him as a left mid. No, you think of him as that destroyer in midfield, the centre midfielder that went everywhere, that dominated the entirety of the pitch, that had the ability to go from defence to attack in a single instance. And that was down to the training and transitional play of Jurgen Klopp and the way that he was able to adapt him to his side. I believe Jurgen Klopp sees exactly the same potential in Ryan Gravenberch. Not necessarily in the same role, but in a different kind of facilitating ability. He has amazing take-ons. He averages 1.4 successful take-ons per 90. That puts him in the 86th percentile against players in Europe's top 5 leagues, and that means that he's not only able to pick up the ball and then recycle it, he's also able to beat a man and go past. So he's able to take players out of the game, he's extremely press resistant. At the same time, he can also play a pass and drive forwards with the ball. All of the assets that a good modern day midfielder needs. And in this Liverpool side, with the flexibility they have with Dominic Szoboszlai and Alexis Mac Allister, I see Ryan Gravenberch fitting into this side perfectly. Now you might ask, where does Endo fit in? Where does he fit in? Well, he fits in like this. You could have a 4-2-3-1 system. Gravenberch could sit next to Endo and then go forwards. In fact, in the more modern day systems, what you could actually see is something like this. Mac Allister could move across. It could be Szoboszlai as well, by the way. Endo could move across, and then Trent could come into midfield, creating that back three, but also keeping Gravenberch a little bit further forwards. Diaz and Salah making sure that they've got their runs. Cody Gakpo linking the play. Mac Allister and Gravenberch almost playing as central attacking mids. And then you've got a midfield double pivot of Endo and Trent Alexander-Arnold. This is just one of the potential options that Liverpool have now to take players forwards. I mean, Szoboszlai could go and play out on this right-hand side if he really wants to instead of Mo Salah. Mo Salah might need a rest at some point. Liverpool have a lot of games to play. I think a lot of people forget that, and losing out on James Milner, the utility man that he was, losing out on Fabinho, who I don't think they actually wanted to sell, but they couldn't resist the offer. All of these things come together and mean that Liverpool need reinforcements, and the potential that Ryan Gravenberch has, not just to be a standard centre midfielder, but to be a complete centre midfielder, one with defensive capabilities, one with forward capabilities. Liverpool have the perfect balance and the perfect springboard for him to adapt his game to any style that they want. And Jurgen Klopp is the kind of manager to be able to bring that kind of dynamism out of him. He's been laying dormant in Munich for quite some time now, and I believe we're really going to see the proper player that was promised to us at Ajax. Remember, he's only 21 years old, and that does not necessarily mean that his position has been filled. Far from it. Ryan Gravenberch does not know his proper position yet. He might know where he wants to play, but Jurgen Klopp will look at his assets, look at what he can offer this Liverpool side, and then make a decision. I think it could be in this central defensive midfield role, moving forwards with the side. Alexis Mac Allister going forwards and Szoboszlai doing the same. The rotation between the three of them could be something that is extremely special. And then you look at the front three. Already we're talking about the options that Liverpool have on the left-hand side. Perhaps Diogo Jota, perhaps Cody Gakpo could move across, perhaps Darwin Núñez. And then you have a look at the right-hand side. Dominic Szoboszlai, Harvey Elliott. In the middle, you have Núñez, you have Jota, and now you're starting to see it with the midfielders. The addition of Gravenberch means that you could have Endo, you could have the likes of a numerous amount of players. Bajcetic is going to be coming back into the side, and then you have two major central attacking midfielders, one on the left, one on the right, to be able to do your creative business. Trent Alexander-Arnold is always going to have a place in this Liverpool side, and if he wants to move into midfield, that's absolutely fine. But now if he doesn't need to be the major creative force in this side. Gravenberch can pick up that mantle and then drive forwards with this team. On top of this, he gives a huge amount of athletic flexibility. Mac Allister can run, Szoboszlai can run, and so can Gravenberch. All of a sudden, over a summer, instead of getting Jude Bellingham, you've now gotten one of the integral linchpins of the Argentina World Cup side. You've got one of the most up-and-coming youngsters today, and you've got the linchpin that Ajax held their hat on a couple of years ago. Couple that with the most devastating front 3, 4, 5 in the league, and Liverpool are looking scary. But it's only down to this addition of Ryan Gravenberch that has really taken them over the edge. I believe this could be the signing that has signalled Liverpool's intent to the rest of the league that they are coming back. And I don't think it's going to take too long for Gravenberch to really impose himself on this league. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. What do you think about Ryan Gravenberch and his move to Liverpool? Do you think this is a good signing? Do you think it's not? Where do you think he will play in this Liverpool setup? I'd love to hear from you, so please do let me know. Thank you ever so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you learnt something new, and I hope to see you in the next one. But until then, take care.